WWE RAW delivered one of its most unforgettable nights when Jey Uso, one of the most beloved superstars in recent history, made the stunning decision to turn heel. While fans have speculated for weeks about whether Jey would continue down his path as a singles competitor or reconnect with old allegiances, no one expected the shift to play out so dramatically backstage. The cameras captured not just a moment of betrayal, but a powerful glimpse into the emotional weight behind Jey's choice. This wasn't just another heel turn. It was the culmination of years of storytelling, personal struggles, and family drama that have defined Jey Uso's journey in WWE. The weight of the Bloodline legacy. To understand the magnitude of Jey's decision, we need to revisit the long history of the Bloodline. As cousins of Roman Reigns, Jey and his brother Jimmy Uso were once loyal soldiers in Roman's dynasty, helping him dominate WWE through a reign of terror that seemed unstoppable. But over time, cracks began to show. Jey's loyalty was tested, Jimmy's injuries caused turbulence, and Roman's manipulative tactics pushed his family to the brink of collapse. When Jey finally broke away from the Bloodline, fans saw it as his redemption arc, a chance for main event Jey to prove himself as a single star. He won matches, earned respect, and became a symbol of resilience for those who believed in standing up to authority. His cheers grew louder every week, and many thought Jey had cemented himself as one of WWE's biggest babyfaces. And yet, as we saw on Raw, the scars of his past never fully healed. The tension builds backstage throughout the night. Subtle hints pointed toward Jey's inner conflict. He was shown pacing the hallways, ignoring greetings from fellow superstars, and even brushing off an interview request. His demeanor was darker than usual, his body language more tense. When asked about his upcoming matches and future plans, he simply muttered, "I gotta do what's best for me." This cryptic statement left fans and commentators wondering what exactly Jey meant. Was he frustrated with being overlooked by management? Was he feeling the pressure of carrying the Uso name on his own? Or was he, perhaps, listening once again to the whispers of family influence, voices telling him to reclaim his dominance through any means necessary? The breaking point. The defining moment came after Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, crossed paths with Jey backstage. Rollins, known for his sharp tongue, offered Jey some words of encouragement, but also warned him not to repeat old mistakes. Rollins reminded him that the fans were behind him now, and that betraying their trust would erase everything he had worked so hard to build. Rather than inspire him, Rollins' words seemed to ignite Jey's anger. He snapped back that people like Seth have always looked down on him, treating him as second best compared to bigger stars. His tone was bitter, his words sharp, and for the first time in weeks, fans saw flashes of the aggressive, untrusting Jey Uso that once thrived under Roman Reigns' command. Moments later, Jey confronted a lower-card superstar in the locker room, verbally tearing him down and asserting that from now on, he wasn't here to play nice or win cheers. He was here to win by any means. The heel turn was no longer speculation. It was happening before our eyes. The emotional fallout. The WWE Universe immediately exploded with reaction. In the arena, a mix of boos and stunned silence filled the air. Online, fans were divided. Some expressed heartbreak, disappointed that Jey had abandoned the path of redemption. Others celebrated the move, arguing that Jey is at his most compelling when he leans into his ruthless side. One fan wrote on Twitter, "Babyface Jey was good, but heel Jey? That's next level. He was born for this role." Another countered, "This is such a betrayal. We stood with Jey against Roman, and now he spits in our faces." The conflicting reactions highlight what makes Jey such a fascinating character. He's layered, unpredictable, and deeply human in his flaws. Heyman's shadow adding fuel to the speculation is Paul Heyman's subtle involvement. Although Heyman didn't appear directly in the segment where Jey turned heel, rumors circulated that the wise man has been whispering in Jey's ear for weeks, reminding him of the power and success he once enjoyed under Roman's guidance. Whether true or not, the idea of Heyman manipulating Jey from the shadows creates intrigue and sets the stage for potential reunions or betrayals down the line. If Heyman is pulling strings, Jey's heel turn may not just be about personal frustration. It could be the first step toward rebuilding a new chapter of the Bloodline, one that doesn't even need Roman Reigns at the center. The human side of Jey's choice. What makes this story resonate so deeply is that Jey's heel turn doesn't come across as random or forced. Instead, it feels like the natural progression of a man who has carried too much weight for too long. For months, Jey has been balancing loyalty, independence, and the crushing expectations of being part of wrestling's most famous family. By turning heel, Jey is reclaiming control, twisting his pain into power. But at the same time, he's risking everything: the fans' support, his momentum as a single star, and the goodwill he earned by breaking free from Roman's shadow. The duality of his decision is what makes it so compelling. The road ahead. So what's next for Jey Uso? His heel turn opens up a flood of possibilities. He could reignite his feud with Seth Rollins, this time from a darker and more vicious angle. He might target other babyfaces on Raw, making statements at their expense to prove his new identity. Or perhaps he'll form alliances with other heels, building a new faction that channels his anger and ambition. And then, of course, there's the looming question of family. If Roman Reigns returns, where does Jey stand? Will he beg forgiveness and rejoin the tribal chief? Or will he try to establish himself as the leader of his own dynasty? The uncertainty is what makes the story so captivating, and fans will be tuning in week after week to see how it unfolds. Fan speculation and WWE's masterstroke. Within minutes of the segment airing, fan theories exploded across Reddit and Twitter. Some believe Jey's heel turn is a setup for a massive Survivor Series storyline. Others think it's planting seeds for a future WrestleMania clash between Jey and Roman. What's undeniable is that WWE has once again struck gold by leaning into Jey's complexity. Few superstars can elicit such a strong emotional response from fans, and fewer still can pull off both babyface and heel roles with equal believability. Jey Uso has proven he's one of them. Conclusion. A bold new chapter. Jey Uso's decision to turn heel on Raw wasn't just a plot twist, it was a defining moment in his career. It symbolized the end of one chapter and the start of another, one where Jey embraces his darker impulses to carve out a place for himself in WWE's ever-shifting landscape. For fans, it's a bitter pill to swallow. The man they once cheered as a symbol of rebellion against Roman Reigns has now chosen to walk down a familiar, dangerous path. But for Jey, this turn might be exactly what he needs to step out of the shadows, not as a victim of the bloodline, but as his own ruthless force. One thing's for certain: heel Jey Uso has arrived, and the WWE Universe will never be the same again.